During ESC, the Gospel readings focus on the Gospel of Luke. And in order to celebrate the Gospel of Luke and to reflect on the Gospel of Luke, I have chosen this painting, attributed to Raffaello Sanzio. The title of the painting is St. Luke Painting the Virgin. Where did Raffaello get the idea that St. Luke was a painter and painted the Virgin Mary? It's based on a legend. According to the legend, Mary appeared to Luke on a cloud holding the child Jesus in her arm, as painted here by Raffaello. Luke is so entranced and spellbound by the vision of Mary holding the child Jesus that he wants this vision to last forever through a painting. Like Moses on Mount Horeb, Luke is barefoot. He has taken his shoes off because he's standing on sacred ground. We could just smile and dismiss it as a legend. But what is behind the legend? Behind the legend is the style in which Luke writes his gospel, especially the infancy narratives. Read the story of the Annunciation or the birth of Christ. The details are so descriptive. Don't we say in today's language, he literally paints us a picture of what is happening at the Annunciation and the birth of Christ. And by the way, that's why Luke has become also the patron saint of artists. But where did Luke get all these details about Mary and about the birth of the child Jesus? They're so detailed, he must have received them in a vision from Mary herself. And here we go back to the legend now. Luke addresses his gospel to Theophilus, a Greek name meaning the lover of God. His gospel is addressed to all those human beings, of all races, of all backgrounds, all human beings whose heart is longing for God, whose heart is longing for something greater than wealth, power, and status. His gospel is addressed to the poor, the simple, those that society neglects or discards. Luke's Messiah is not born from a royal family, but a poor girl, a unknown girl, teenage girl. Luke's Messiah is not born in a royal palace, but is born in a stable. Luke's Messiah is not worshipped by the great kings and emperors of the world, but the humble and poor shepherds. Luke's Messiah grows up in Nazareth, an unknown, meaningless town. What good could come from Nazareth? Luke's Messiah begins his ministry not on a white horse with a sword drawn, ready to conquer the world, but preaching blessed are the poor in spirit. This is his mission plan. This is a manifesto which he proclaims in the temple. His mission is to bring good news to the poor, to the oppressed, to the blind. His mission is to let them know that God cannot do without them, to let them know that God will not forget about them. In a world where those who have would prefer to live without a lot of people, without needy people, unknowing people, hungry, naked, homeless and lonely people, foreigners who belong in their own country, we would prefer to live without them at times. And yet instead Jesus comes in the Gospel of Luke and sits with them, with the poor, the abandoned, the voiceless, those that have been trampled upon by the society. He sits with them and calls them friends. Luke in his Gospel becomes a witness to the revolution of love that God has started at the Nativity. A revolution of love which was proclaimed by Jesus in the temple. A revolution of love which becomes a reality in the words and the actions of Jesus. First of all, through his words. Jesus does not teach us through difficult and abstract theories and philosophies. He teaches us through stories. He teaches us how his revolutionary love begins first of all with God loving us. A God who is like a shepherd looking for the lost sheep. A God who is like a father welcoming and embracing his lost son. A God who is like a mother desperately searching for the gold coin that she needs to feed others. That is what God is like. And this revolutionary love is carried out from the most unexpected persons, like the Good Samaritan, because only those who have experienced God's love in their life can truly give love to others. This revolutionary love, Jesus makes it a reality through his actions. He feeds the hungry. He heals those who are sick. He cures the lepers, forgives those who have failed, all the way to the cross where he forgives the repentant thief. But this revolutionary love which Jesus has started must now continue. And that's why Raffaello included another person in his painting, right there behind Luke. It is a self-portrait, reminding us that we are called not only to know what Jesus did, but we are called to continue the revolutionary love that he has started. In fact, after Jesus' resurrection, Luke tells us the story of two disciples returning sad and downhearted to their little town of Emmaus. This is my story and your story, my friends. This revolutionary love is demanding, and like the two disciples, we too will feel like giving up, especially when confronted by too much hostility and rejection. But the story assures us that Jesus will not abandon us, but will journey with us, will accompany us, and he will renew our hope and our courage through his words and his actions once again. Through the scriptures and through the breaking of the bread every time we gather for Eucharist. But you'll say, what about the ox? You haven't said anything about the ox. Actually, the ox is a symbol of Luke's gospel, probably because the gospel begins in the temple, to remind us that oxes were used as temple sacrifices. Look at the huge big eye looking out at us, the viewers. What is it saying? What is it saying to me and to you? It's saying this: I had no choice in being used as a sacrifice. But what about you? In following Jesus will cost and demand lots of sacrifices from you. Are you still prepared to join the revolution that Jesus has started? During the year, we have a chance to answer the question. Bye now and thank you.